Namaste, Gemini. This is our November reading, and I'm going to go over general surrounding work and finance and love and relationship energies, beginning with Major Arcana card, the Moon, which most directly represents the sign of Pisces, meaning that a Pisces or perhaps another water sign may be particularly significant to you. In addition to that, the moon is showing up here to let us know that we are going to be more intuitive and psychic than normal in terms of our work. There could be something going on at work. We don't have all the information, and so we should be careful about being presumptuous or assuming anything. And if there's anything connected to our direct work that we feel we don't have enough information to move forward on, we shouldn't be afraid to ask. Similarly, in our relationships, there could be a lot of things that aren't as they appear, and it's a very emotional time for partnerships, and could be very easy to end up in an argument or going off on one another. And so if you need a break, that's recommended that you take one. Also, in a general sense, again, things aren't always as they appear. The moon is about secrets, or can be, information that is hidden, not always in a malicious way, but sometimes. Sometimes it's just the universe not ready to reveal all that we ultimately need to know. And so in the meantime, we're just meant to really rely on our gut feelings and, again, intuition, signs, synchronicities, and in figuring out what we should do, using that as guidance. The next card is Strength in Reverse. So Strength in Reverse is about not using all of the power available to you. So it could be that we are receiving guidance and we're not necessarily applying it to our circumstances, whatever they may be. Major Arcana card Strength most directly represents the sign of Leo, and in terms of the card itself, whether upright or in reverse as it is now, in basically any and every area of your life that it touches, it is a positive card, and it's about abundance and strength. Okay, so maybe this is why. Maybe this is in reverse because Strength is in reverse. The Six of Wands, it's still a card of victory, even though it's not upright. It can be about like delayed gratification, delayed victory or wins. And also, this might be tied to the moon, and maybe that's why I was moved to look at an additional card. There could be somebody around you who seems like a cheerleader, seems like a supporter, but they are a low-key hater. Possibly a Cancer, but not necessarily. Chariot is about movement or moving, whether metaphorical or literal. Most directly represents the sign of Cancer, as I indicated. It can be about travel. In reverse like this, some travel or move may be delayed. Maybe somebody has a bid for a house, or they're waiting for their closing or something like that. You just don't have all the information, however it applies to you. All right, there's our energy. First and foremost, I was otherwise opening to this, which is the Five of Swords in reverse. The Page of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. It's about information, messages. The Moon. Two of Wands, or fire. And this is a card, it's actually the twin flame or divine union or soulmate card of the tarot. It's about balance, It can be about getting swept off your feet in love. And that's another thing I'm getting about the moon for us. I think it may be very much tied to the actual full moon that occurs on October 31st, the blue moon in Taurus. Now, Taurus is our 12th house of endings. Something could be coming to a complete and final end, whatever that means, I'm thinking, oh, okay, the same cards are still here. So let's say you are up against, some sort of larger entity. And maybe that's why you don't feel as empowered. It's like a larger entity that's something that's more like you feel like it's more mightier than you. Maybe involving a lawsuit or a job or something. This could be tied to the government, maybe. And whatever it is, maybe it's been stop and go, hasn't had the kind of movement that you want. There's the Page of Swords again, now in reverse. So I think that's their confirmation to me that yes, that's what's been happening. Something hasn't been going your way, and it's been going on for a long time, but ultimately will end in your favor. Again, that delayed victory will end in your favor, probably within the energy of the Taurus full moon. So because Taurus is the sign that comes before ours, for us it is the 12th house. It's the last one before us, before Gemini, which would be the first house for us, right? When the moon is in our own sign, it's in our first house. When it's in Taurus, it's in the 12th. When it's in Aries, it's in the 11th, and it goes around that way in order. But that 12th house is again about finality. Something is coming to a complete end. And I think it'll be something with which you've been dealing for a long time, that you may feel sort of worn from, or again, unequally matched, like you're up against some sort of larger being than yourself, but ultimately will be successful and freed from whatever's been happening to you, holding you back, causing that sort of stop and go energy. Okay. So Temperance popping out. Major Arcana card, Temperance 14 represents the sign of Sagittarius most directly, and the planet Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius. And for me, also the sign of Aquarius, because of this water bearer that appears on the front of the card. It's a card of recovery, restoration, where something was lost or lacking. And it's like the universe making us whole. It can be about recovering something like tangible. So again, maybe like we were involved in some sort of long lawsuit or something, and finally recovering something after all of this. I never thought I would win. Maybe for some it's tied to, unfortunately, something like, things like eviction, whatever, and you're going up against a big landlord and you don't think you can win. But again, ultimately, I see a victory here. A few times over, we saw a confirmation. This is also a card of negotiations, collaboration, looking past our differences and deciding just to make something work and, moving forward. A very positive card. But additionally, a Sagittarius or Aquarius may be particularly significant too. Fool, about taking a risk. On faith, and so I think I'll stop at that one and go ahead and cut, because twos represent faith, and that's what the Fool is about, taking a leap out on faith. Like that guidance that I felt like I was getting, I gotta trust it now and do what it told me to do. And that brings us now to the world in reverse, which is another indication of something very likely coming to an end. It's come full circle, and that's it. We're moving to a different phase now. I'm going to get the stand so that we can look at the cards closely. I'm going to be pulling four. The first, most directly representing us over the course of this month and our energy. The second is surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers, something going on at the job, all of that. The third will be work and finance specifically, and the last will be love and relationships. So the first one is the Nine of Cups in reverse. I think every single sign for which I've read thus far had some card, not necessarily the Nine of Cups, but some card that was a nine. Whether it was the Nine of Cups, it was the Hermit, it was the Nine of Pentacles. It's always been a nine in this position for all of the readings that I've done so far this month. Every sign. Surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers. 10 of Wands, reverse. Work and finance specifically, 10 of Swords, reverse. So like I was saying, we could have been up against some sort of larger entity. Somebody may have been up against like a workman's comp case, or fighting to get your unemployment, or something like that, or to get your job back. There's no union, and they're trying to move on without you, and that's not right. You're fighting, something like that. Obviously, that's not going to apply to everybody. You know what? I'll pull another card for just in case too, for work and finance, and it's the King of Wands, also in reverse. King of Wands tends to, well, the tarot, traditional tarot practice, most directly connects to the energy of Sagittarius, so it could be tied to that Temperance card, and again, the recovery, restoration, the making whole of a person, or the negotiations and collaboration and moving on beyond our differences, could all be tied, together with that. And lastly, again, love and relationship. 2 of Swords. Very interesting. Okay, is everything in frame? I think so. Do we look at what was underneath the world? It's the moon again. And it's in reverse. And guess what the next card is? It's our energy. It's Major Arcana card. The Lover is also in reverse. And then the Strength card is back. But then the Ace of Pentacles shows up upright. So I think this continues to tell the story, Gemini, that I was saying, that we all seem to be up against something. And it might not be something so obvious, for some it can just feel like we've had a difficult time or a trying time. We've had a lot on our plate for a long time. I'm handling my business. I got to take care of these kids. I'm helping my mother. I'm helping my siblings, or whatever it is. Everybody relies on me at work. I'm extra busy. We're short staffed. I'm in charge. And it's just been a long time of that. And we need some rest. And we need, something to let up, and for the energy to free up and just be better, and for abundance to more easily come to us without us having to put so very much effort into every darn thing. That's what it can be for those of us for whom it's not like we really are on up against some sort of, again, other entity that we can make note of. It's like a really tangible thing. For others of us, it can just be a bunch of things happening. Just our life has been whatever. And certainly the card that represents us this month, it's a welcome energy, because it's going to be about things, really looking up. Whatever, however the other energies have presented themselves in our lives, this is about things looking up. I'm tempted to pull another card for the love and relationship too. 7 of Wands. 2 of Swords is about a decision that we're having to make. 7 of Wands is about having made it and sticking to it. That's interesting. I don't know. I was just moved to do that because I was thinking, had I not pulled an additional card for work and finance, the King of Wands would have been in our position of love and relationship. So, all right, let's get into it. Like, for real now. Okay, so the world reverse, as I mentioned, is about very possibly about some sort of completion, karmic completion, something coming to a complete end. We've worked very hard. We're almost at the finish line. Certainly should not quit now, even if we are feeling overwhelmed or down and out, and all of that. And you can really feel like you can't make it any further. And maybe that stop and go energy was us with the chariot in reverse. Maybe that was our energy. Like, okay, I got another boost. Let me do a bunch of stuff. Okay, I'm warm. I'm done again. Um, Whatever the deal is, this is probably when you feel those moments of really not being able to take any more, like almost like in a literal sense. It's probably better to actually take a break and take a rest than to try to push through those moments. We're also getting for some of us this could be spiritual, emotional. We're getting closer to who we really are. Like at our deepest levels. And for those of you who say, "Well, I don't really feel any. I'm not seeing any progress in what I'm trying to do," then this card shows up for you, talking about the world in reverse, um, for you to sort of try to figure out what it is that's standing in your way, and why are you stuck. Okay, because there's going to be a reason. So also I should mention the world for me feels like fire. I don't have a better explanation for that, but it feels like fire. So I attribute it to fire energy, not necessarily one sign versus the other. So it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, but more so the karmic energy. So, like the planet Jupiter or the planet Mars is what I tend to feel brings about these periods of karmic completion, and probably Jupiter more so than anything, because Jupiter is the planet of growth and expansion first and foremost, but also of karma and of luck. So I think that it's like, okay, here I gave you this karmic lesson to learn. It's done, and so now here's a reward. That's how I feel um, when I hold the world. So that's a nice segue right into the card that's most directly representing us. Speaking of rewards, because it's a yes, whether it's upright or in reverse. The Nine of Cups is a positive card, and it is a yes to a yes or no answer from the minor arcana. Although again, it could be attached to delayed gratification, delayed yes, like yes, but not today, tomorrow maybe. Um, so it's coming, but it's in the mail, and you gotta wait. It's a card of manifestation, about prayers being answered, wishes being granted, dreams coming true, goals you've set being met, all of these things. We could be very pleasantly surprised by like how quickly our dreams seem to manifest into reality. Also, specifically with regard to work, soon we could be really feeling like a deep level of fulfillment from our work. There's more of a sense of loyalty than you would expect or you were used to. If you're looking for work, this could mean that you're going to find something that's really suitable for you, and maybe much more suitable than something else. We're not all meant to be what any given thing. Well, right now, what's the most popular? The essential workers, fast food workers. Let's say, for example, we're not all meant to be that, but to those who are, I'm sure that especially now that is very fulfilling work. And maybe that is what you're going to fall into. If you're looking for a job, maybe it will be something like that. And it's very fulfilling work because you are essential. You, like, the whole country is literally depending on you right now. So that may be what it is. Or some other sort of, maybe you're going to work for a charity, or maybe you're working for yourself and you're selling your own creations or something like that. So that's very fulfilling. Whatever would most like be appropriate for you, suitable for you, is what you can expect, with this kind of card. And you should feel sort of drawn to the position, and again, follow your instincts, follow your intuition. You're more psychic right now because of the moon, and go into that new challenge, career, job, apply for that position, you know, um, take a leap at it. So it's probably tied to the Fool as well, that we also saw. In love and relationship, again, whether upright or in reverse, this is a really good omen for love. Existing relationships tend to deepen when it shows up. They just become a lot more meaningful, and um, you really feel that reciprocity, and it just sweetens the deal, you know? If you're single, then you're likely to meet somebody similar to the job with whom you can have a really deep and meaningful connection and relationship within the next few weeks. So that too may be tied to like the moon, again, ending some sort of, letting some energy that was preventing you from that come to a complete end, and then you're moving into energy that allows for it, where you are manifesting again. So the Ten of Wands talks about more of this same energy. Either we, and I think it certainly is we, it could be, and or someone again close to us in our cipher is just feeling sort of overwhelmed, overworked, stressed out, overstretched. Uh, what's that when you over like, okay, I can do that, I can do that. You put too many things on your plate because you keep telling everybody yes. I forget the word. Overextended. And yeah, and again, this is not necessarily something that you should try to push through. You'd probably be better served taking some sort of break, even if it's just like relaxing for a few hours, to de-stress. Maybe taking some sort of like an Epsom salt bath, or with one with essential oils, some eucalyptus or lavender, or having a nice hot cup of tea and sitting in your robe. Whatever makes you feel good. Going to get a massage, maybe by a professional or a loved one. Um, I like acupuncture. That reminds me, I got to call and see, because I had some prepaid acupunctures before the pandemic, and I don't know if the place even reopened. Um, but all that kind of stuff. Or you maybe just want to like seek some upbeat people that can help you to lift your spirits as well, and your temperament. In terms of work, you may have an inkling, an inclination, a feeling, again, something going on in the gut or your intuition, that you would probably be better served seeking employment, seeking employment elsewhere. For those of you who are, of course, already employed, and yeah, the economic situation of the country isn't the best, but people are finding jobs, and maybe you can get a new job or can start your own business or something, selling your wares or whatever it is while you're working at a place, like moonlighting. Because somebody may even be literally being mistreated at this job where they are. Even in a tight job market, that's not something that you have to take, or that you should take, that you have to stand for. Um, injustice right now in this time, we got to be careful also about taking it personally, because it is something that is coming to the surface to be dealt with, like around the globe, as a karmic energy with which we're all dealing. But that doesn't mean, even if you don't take it personally, you understand what's going on around the world, and why these things are happening around us. That still doesn't mean you have to put up with dealing with it as an individual, forever either. So the most simple solution may be for you to leave. And I think that we're seeing, for somebody, that exact thing is happening. So I'll just go ahead and segue on into that. Well, I didn't do the work yet. I mean, I didn't do the love and relationship yet of the Ten of Wands. So let me do that. It points to difficulty in an existing relationship. It could just be, temporary. Again, because we're dealing with the moon and all this kind of stuff. But at the same time, for some people, it's probably like way past time that we sort of dealt with this situation and talked about the relationship and where we see it going, if anywhere, and moving accordingly after that. Consider whether there have been changes in behavior, because sometimes there's infidelity and and stuff like that, and I we talked in the beginning about the Six of Wands, and somebody may seem like they're on your side, they're on your team, they're a cheerleader, they're, have your best interest, but that you can't necessarily really trust them. There's envy, there's distrust, there's jealousy, there's something with this person, and for somebody it could be the mate, and they may be up to no good. So it's possible that some truths will be revealed to you in this period, and it's just going to be a time for you to finally deal with your relationship. And some of you are certainly going to end up moving on from these relationships to open yourself up for one that is more healthy, and for which you're better suited. It's better for you. And that could be what's being illustrated here for somebody too, in terms of the decision having to be made. And then now I've made it. I'm putting my foot down. I'm not taking him back. I'm not taking her back, or whatever the case is. On that note, I'll segue on over into work and finance now. So the Ten of Swords in reverse is about, it can indicate like serious problems in the workplace. So like I was saying, somebody may be mistreated at the workplace. If this is you, let's address this. I don't know if it's sexual abuse, like a harassment, or just being treated, in a condescending manner that is unfair, that sort of is dismissive of you as a person, or minimizes you. Whatever the case is, it's not a good situation, and you need to leave the job. Definitely, even if it doesn't go to that extreme for some of you who do experience it, whatever is happening is not something that we should ignore. It's not going to make it go away. And we're just like reaching the point where we can see what's best for us, and we're thinking more clearly, and that's probably with some help from the Nine of Cups. And we should take some time, and to sit in quiet and to decide what our next moves are. If anything, maybe our next move is to remain at the job, to just have a conversation with somebody, but I'm going to stay, or whatever it is. If we're looking for work with this card, the Ten of Swords, we may very well be looking in the wrong places. So, or maybe using the wrong methods. So if you've just been, signing up, filling out applications online, maybe you got to actually put on, your clothes and go outside and go, door to door. That's what we used to have to do back in the days, but like before you sent resumes on the computer, we had to actually go to companies and apply like in person, or ask them, do you have an application? Are you hiring? And all that kind of stuff. And that may be necessary. Or maybe finding something through a network or a friend, a connection. That may be another mechanism that you have not tried, that you should be trying. Okay, so I also pulled the King of Wands for us in this work and finance placement. And here, listen closely to this, okay? Because the King of Wands most generally represents what is usually a male, a man, although it doesn't have to be. I mean, these things are not necessarily gender specific or even archetype specific, certainly not having anything to do with sexuality or anything like that. So it could be anybody, but it is usually in a man, the way that the tarot is read, just in traditional tarot practice. And or men, doesn't have to be one, men that are particularly helpful. But okay, so here's the other thing that I think is tied to this Ten of Swords in reverse. Can also be about one man in particular who, again, is very maybe condescending. This person is patronizing toward you. Depending upon whatever the situation is, you may need to accept a certain amount of this. If this is your boss or whatever the case is. However, if it becomes too difficult for, like a hostile work environment, it's just inappropriate for you, what you feel you're experiencing, there's some sort of inappropriate behavior that you have become a victim to, then there needs to be some sort of confrontation or action taken. You do not, again, I'm going to repeat what I said before, you do not have to tolerate that. You do not have to accept a hostile work environment. You do, or to feel vulnerable and you have no choices or options if you are in a situation where you're being harassed or abused. in a work context. But you also, okay, there's the the reverse to that too. Again, we also don't want to be too like thin skinned either, and taking everything like overly personal and blowing things out of proportion. I was watching something recently and I don't remember what it was. It may have been one of these judge shows. I think it was. And this woman had gone to like a live interactive um like venue, probably like a haunted house or something. My daughter used to work in one of these on Halloween. She would, get dressed up like whatever character she was playing, and she and many other people, and they'd be all over this, this staged place, a house, and they'd have stuff to act out, and it was scary. They pop out unexpectedly and stuff like that. So this woman had gone to one of these sorts of things, and it was very, very dark, and apparently one of the persons that jumped out to scare her, like touched her butt somehow. And she had brought this man to court. She beat the man up first. And he had brought her to court. That's what it was. Actually, he ended up winning. He was made to file a workman's comp suit. So somebody could be going through something like this, because I also mentioned workman's comp. He was made to file a workman's comp suit, and whatever workman's comp ended up not paying him, she was ordered to pay because she had blown it out of proportion. Okay, he touched your butt, but was that like sexual assault? Was that, was he attempting to assault you or whatever? It wasn't on purpose. It was dark. He didn't know. So like that. So we have to weigh these things and look at them in a balanced way before we act. And that's going to take us into love and relationship. So the Two of Swords, whether we're single and looking, or we're in a committed relationship, can be warning us about pushing too fast, moving too fast. Like trying to push things forward. Maybe we really like this person, we're having a really good time, we just want to get to commitment and let's get to the end. And that's not a good idea when this card shows up. So we're guided to be patient and allow for it to happen. And that can be the case when it comes to meeting new people too, or having met somebody new and just, again, wanting to rush to the end. It could take some time before it actually develops into a relationship. So we need to be patient. The other look at this is the fact that the Two of Wands is a card of, traditionally people will say it's a card that means that we have a decision to make. To me, it's a card of indecision. You already have made the decision, but you're not taking any action. And you've already made the decision based on what is in your heart, gut, again, intuition to do. And that doesn't align with what you think society would have you do, or your friends or family, and what are people going to think, or what are people going to say. And because you're concerned with that, you do nothing. You take no action. And so the Seven of Wands that we've also pulled, that's a card of having, again, made a decision and putting our foot down and not allowing ourselves to be manipulated by outside, external forces that try to get us to change our mind. If you decide you want to change your mind and revert back to something, that's on you. That's fine. But this is a card of not allowing other people to push you around to make you do that. And I would say that it applies to those same people that you're worried about. What are they going to say? What are they going to do? If I do what I want to do, what's in my heart to do? And this is telling you not to worry about them for 1 second, like at all. That just do what it is you would do. I'm going to further clarify all these cards or give us an extra message from my fortune reading cards now. Let's push these back temporarily. And for us, we're beginning with Cracker. Positive energy surrounds you. Love, joy, and good fortune awaits. And that goes along with the Nine of Cups we've already received. Again, good stuff is ahead for us. Behind that, we have proposal. A romantic or business opportunity is indicated. So somebody could be getting out of this sort of work environment or business situation and moving into one that is much more fitting for you, as we discussed. Or somebody could be, again, making a decision about a relationship. Maybe somebody made a proposal to you and you're going to make the decision that it's in your heart to make, as opposed to doing what you think somebody else would have you do. You have the strength to do whatever it is you want to do. Lion, harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and charge ahead magnificently. And the next card is in reverse. It is luck. All right. On that note, I will shuffle a little bit. Angel, your angels are getting ready. Or, I'm sorry, I don't know where I saw getting ready. Maybe they are getting ready to do something. Your angels are guiding and protecting you on your spiritual journey. Wonder what that could mean. Angels getting ready. Flowers, be generous. Success and emotional fulfillment are yours. But some of this could really be like a yes or no in terms of marriage. That could be what the proposal is. Flowers are involved in that. Again, we saw the proposal. The Nine of Cups is a yes card. This is you making a decision despite what other people would say or think. Open to Sun now. Open your heart to the enormous growth ahead. Again, probably coming from the planet Jupiter, the planet of growth and expansion, and this energy of the world. And Coffin. Oh, this is a perfect card for us. The devil obviously wants to be seen too. I'll get to him in a second. Natural endings abound. Take care with your health. So like I said, things are going to be coming to a final end for us. And again, like as I mentioned, the devil seemed to want to be seen. He kept trying to peek out. Take care immediately to avoid temptation and deceit. This could be tied to that person that some of you may experience this month that I said is not necessarily your friend for real. And that brings us to Snake. Your intuition and healing powers will guide you to a better path, but be careful. And yes, again, our intuition and healing powers are strengthened this month. We began with the moon. And I think we will literally begin with the moon because that is October 31st. This reading is from November. So right from November 1st, we'll be in that energy of the Taurus full moon. And we'll move into, right there at the beginning of the month, the Gemini moon. So our first house of self, where we're just feeling really empowered. Let's see what's behind Snake. It's the lion showed up again. So there's our strength. I said we're feeling really empowered. Okay. And the next card is in reverse. It was death. So I'm going to pull 4 cards just like I did for the for these from the Rider-Waite deck. Okay. Let's move them a little bit closer. There we go. All right, so the card most directly representing us this month, atop the Nine of Cups, is Owl. There are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. So we're coming into knowledge, or it could be, again, coming into we're manifesting something. Surrounding energy, top the 10 of Wands in reverse, Phoenix. So this is fire energy here with the wands, and then this is more fire energy that's surrounding us. Be prepared to be renewed after a period of crisis. So like I said, we've been struggling, we're feeling overwhelmed, overextended, and then there is renewal that comes. Work and finance atop the 10 of Swords in reverse. Wish. Your heart's desire is ready to come. So that job for which you are better suited, or that is better suited for you, is ready to come. And love and relationship. Mountain. Know that you're protected as you face challenges, but remain cautious. So this is probably tied to those decisions that some of us are having to make over the month. I hope you guys have enjoyed the reading. I enjoyed doing it for you. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that. If you do decide to subscribe, first and foremost, I very much appreciate it. But please do so by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button so that hopefully you'll receive your notifications. Namaste.